Celevetus, the strongest demon lord in the world, was living peacefully in his territory. But just like humans always want to take over forests, they also decided to invade his land. This invasion enraged Celevetus. After killing all of them, he set out to wipe out the entire human race. During this massacre, a mother fell to her knees and begged of him to spare her son's life. Because the demon lord, despite everything, had a strangely soft heart, he agreed. Now he would have to hide his identity and raise this child among humans. Meanwhile, a group of heroes entered the dense forest to defeat the demon lord. They carried powerful weapons called reliquia, special arms far stronger than anything forged by humans. But the moment they reached the area, their driver was devoured by beasts. Seeing this, the heroes jumped into battle, using their weapons to defeat the monsters. After killing them all, they advanced toward the beast den. On the way, they encountered a massive hydra. Stefan sliced through it with his blades, but even after being severed, one of its heads lunged at him. At the last second, Alicia thrust her sword into its eye, saving Stefan's life. So far, everything felt easy. With all the weaker monsters gone, they began searching for the Southern Lord. At the center of the area, they finally saw him standing there, Celevetus himself. It was time for his introduction. He casually flexed a bit of his power. But even after seeing that, their foolish leader believed he could defeat him with his weapon, and useless speeches have never saved anyone. Celevetus killed him first. Instead of running like any sensible person would, their tank charged straight at him. Since he wasn't using his brain at all, Celevetus simply removed it from his body. Now the rest finally realized they could not defeat him. Alicia noticed that Celevetus was attacking them from their shadows. But by then it was already too late. One by one he began slaughtering them. A hero summoned an earth golem, but even the ground itself was under Celevetus's control. He shattered the golem into pieces with his tail. While fighting, Celevetus wondered how such weak humans had even reached his territory. Soon after, he killed the remaining heroes. Only Alicia was left. She narrowly avoided his attacks and managed to get close. But when she struck his horn, it only left a shallow scratch. What are these chicks even trying to do? For 1,000 years, I never even bothered them. Looks like I'll have to find the answer myself. But first, I'll finish this one. After killing Alicia, Celevetus headed straight for the human kingdom. He had no problem leaving humans alive. But if you stick your hand into a snake's nest, you will get bitten. Now he wanted to erase humanity from the world. Before dying, one of the heroes revealed that they had been sent by the Kingdom of Hyena. The kingdom's archers fired at Celevetus, but their arrows did nothing. He crushed houses as he marched toward the king's castle. Still, they kept attacking him. Before killing the king, he wiped them all out. When the castle guards saw him approaching, they prepared their weapons and attacked. But nothing affected him. A guard rushed to inform the king, but the king had already heard everything. It seemed the high-grade weapons were still not strong enough. No one can save me from death. But before I die, I must seal the flame of Hyena so it never goes out. Humans continued attacking him. Those heroes had something different. Compared to them, this is nothing. But I can't allow these insects to grow stronger. As the king attempted to seal the flame, Celevetus crashed through the ceiling. I didn't come just to destroy your nation. I came to erase humans from the world. But before that, I want to know I was living peacefully. Why did you attack me? You could never understand, the king replied. How could a monster comprehend human ambition? For such a terrible answer, Celevetus didn't just cut his mark, she cut off his head. He then left to finish off the remaining humans. But suddenly, he heard a baby crying. At first, he ignored it. But then the child's mother called out to him from beneath the rubble, begging him to save her baby. Did you hit your head? He said. You do realize I did all of this. I'm here to wipe out humans. Why would I save a human child? She replied that a child should not be punished for the sins of adults. The baby had done nothing wrong. To Celevetus, a human was a human. Child or adult made no difference. Still, he told her to prove that the child was worth saving. She knew she couldn't prove anything. But if he saved the child, he would understand on his own why it mattered. She died soon after. Celevetus walked away, then stopped. He wasn't sure, but compared to his endless life, this child's life meant nothing. Out of pure curiosity, he decided to save the baby. In Athia, there are 5 humanoid races. First are the Duns, the most numerous, skilled in architecture and tactics. They split the Dun plains into two major nations. The Sladen live near water and are known as expert hunters. The Benti resemble beasts, extremely strong alone, but they never work together, even if their lives depend on it. Lastly, there is the Kingdom of Fine, famous for its weapons. Surrounding the borders is darkness, where dark beasts roam. 4 beast lords rule there, and one of them is Celevetus. Meanwhile, Celevetus reached a cave with the child. Any monsters that tried to eat the baby were instantly frightened away. Soon, the baby began crying from hunger. Celevetus gave him a bit of his energy. The baby wouldn't die, but Celevetus was confused. If a beast lord was going to clean up a human's mess, so be it. He placed the baby into a pit filled with spiders. The baby cried in fear, but the spiders only cleaned him using their silk. After that, Celevetus picked him up again. The baby still wouldn't stop crying. Celevetus even considered throwing him into a ravine. But he was a beast lord. He couldn't take back his decision. To keep the child alive, he needed humans. So he returned to the battlefield. After some time, Alicia regained consciousness. She was confused. She clearly remembered dying. When she saw Celevetus, she reached for her sword. But he told her all the weapons had already been thrown away. "I revived you because you're useful," he said. "You're a living corpse, moving only because of my dark energy. Enough talking. Give me milk." It took her a moment to understand. This wasn't a request. He forced the issue, but it didn't work. Alicia told him it was obvious. She had never been a mother. She was more confused about why someone like Celevetus would save a human child. "There's no time to explain," he said. "If you can't give milk, be useful another way. I can keep the child alive with my energy, but he'll always be hungry. Tell me, how else can I get milk?" She couldn't disobey his command. She told him they would need a nursing mother. That meant going to a human town. In his current form, everyone would run in fear. So Celevetus took on a human form. He tried to resemble his mother as best he could. He named himself Cran. The child was named Luna. He told Alicia to head to the nearest village. Along the way, Alicia washed the baby and his blanket. That's when she noticed the royal crest of hyena on it. As she cleaned the baby, Cran kept complaining non-stop. It felt to her like he was a nagging mother-in-law. Elsewhere, news of the destruction spread. A scout was sent to investigate. "I can't believe a dark beast did all this. This is exactly why I was against attacking a beast lord. The timing couldn't be worse." The very next day, the crown princess was supposed to flee with her child. And remember, the Duns had 2 kingdoms, Aslan and Boliet. Boliet's people had already arrived. They knew Aslan would come soon as well, because everyone wanted the secret weapon forging techniques of the Aedan family. So, on the other side, Felicia asks Cran if he knew that Luna belonged to royalty. Cran has no idea what she's talking about, so she explains that the blanket carries the royal family's crest, something only they are allowed to use. "Oh, right," Cran replies. "The woman who gave it to me was buried under the castle walls." Hearing that, Felicia freezes. "What do you mean by that?" "Oh, I forgot to tell you," Cran says casually. "Hyena is gone. Finished. Completely wiped out." Alicia can't believe what she's hearing. "You destroyed an entire kingdom? Do I really need to remind you that humans attacked me first?" He replies. "Besides, what difference does it make now?" But Alicia tells him it makes a huge difference. If everyone in Hyena is dead, then Luna is the last remaining royal. That means many people will come after him. "Why would anyone chase a child?" Cran asks. Alicia explains that only members of Hyena's royal family can use their secret forging technique, the one used to create Hyena's legendary weapons. The moment she says that, Cran's mind clicks. She realizes she's said too much. Until now, Cran hadn't decided what to do with Luna, but now he sees another option. He could make Luna the new human king and control everything from the shadows. And if humans get too annoying, he could always wipe them out later. But first, they still needed milk for the baby. Cran tells Alicia to hurry. Alicia doesn't understand why he's so concerned about the child. But she knows one thing: if anything happens to Luna, Cran might slaughter every human on the continent. No matter what happens, she has to keep the baby safe. Suddenly, someone attacks Cran. Surrounded by fallen bodies, Cran thinks to himself that these idiots have no idea what they've done. They're all going to die. But then Cran collapses, blood pouring from his head. Alicia is shocked. The attackers don't like her scream, so they hit her on the head as well, knocking her out. When Alicia wakes up, she's inside a carriage. Cran is sitting quietly, and she's surprised he hasn't killed anyone yet. "As long as Luna is fine, I don't care," Cran says calmly. "But tell me, when you transform into a human, does your power decrease?" "That's not it," he continues. "I didn't realize human skulls were this fragile. Don't worry, it won't happen again." "Then why are we still here?" Alicia asks. "Until Luna becomes king, I need to live among humans," Cran replies. "To do that, I need to understand them better. Tell me what's going on." Alicia explains that the people who kidnap them are bandits who abduct people and sell them as slaves. They're stronger than normal humans, but completely vile. "You shouldn't judge all humans by them," she adds. Soon they arrive at the bandits' base. As the captives are being unloaded, one man tries to escape. A bandit throws a knife and kills him on the spot. Everyone freezes in fear and quietly obeys. A woman calls out to Cran. When she notices he's holding a baby, she calls for Nal. Hearing her voice, Nal panics, falls to the ground, and starts apologizing. The woman scolds her, but the moment she sees Luna, her eyes light up. Meanwhile, Alicia is taken to Broko, their temporary boss. Their real leader, Yazek, is currently inside a dungeon. None of the bandits are willing to call Broko boss, so to assert dominance, he brings out a troll. Alicia is shocked. Trolls are incredibly strong and not easy to control. Broko pulls out a bag filled with red stones. "We heard Hyena sent heroes to kill Celevetus," he says. "None of them came back, and the kingdom got destroyed." He studies Alicia carefully. "You look like one of those heroes, and stones this pure aren't easy to find." He stares at her blade, stunned. "Weapons made from red ore can only be forged by Hyena's royal family. This blade is fake," he says, "but most people can't tell the difference. Business is booming. And now that the royal family is dead, no real blades will ever be made again." He grins. "We can profit a lot from this." "You're a hero, right?" he asks. "Where are the other heroes' weapons? They'd sell for a fortune." Alicia stays silent. Annoyed, Broko orders his men to torture her for information. After that, he says, they can have their fun. Elsewhere, Cran is working at a restaurant while Nal feeds Luna. A drunk man starts yelling at her for beer, and when she brings it, he kicks her. The bandits love Cran. No matter what they tell him to do, he silently obeys. When Nal brings more beer, some men deliberately knock it out of her hands and drag her outside. Once they're done, Cran kills them both and cleans up their bodies like nothing happened. He then goes to Nal and tells her Luna is hungry again. When Cran asks about her past, Nal explains she never knew her father and lived with her mother. The same abuse kept happening to her. She doesn't even remember her mother's face anymore. When she was 12, her mother disappeared. After that, all the abuse was directed at her. Her teeth were broken. She lost hearing in one ear. Eventually, when she was assigned work, her life became a little easier. The bandits stopped bothering her as much. Now, her only job is taking care of babies. But only mothers can produce milk, Cran says. "Where is your child?" Nal explains that she once gave birth, but the baby died at birth. She lost all will to live. When she regained consciousness, she saw a small baby drinking milk. After that, more babies were brought to her to feed. That's how she became a nursing mother. She couldn't save her own child, but she refuses to let another baby die of hunger. "I don't trust humans," Cran says quietly. "But I think I can trust you. Would you like to leave this place with me?" Nal is shocked and a little happy, but she reminds him she's a slave. How could they possibly escape? She walks away. Meanwhile, Alicia is being taken across a bridge by the bandits. Below, she sees another slave. The bandits tell him that if he retrieves a weapon from the water, they'll let him go. Clinging to that hope, he jumps in. Alicia screams at him to come back. According to legends, the water is filled with monsters. But it's already too late. Seconds later, monsters drag him out and tear him apart right in front of his wife. Alicia is devastated. The bandits laugh. 300 years ago, floods brought these monsters here. The strongest hero of that generation came to fight them, but even he failed. Back then, they were on land. Now the area is flooded. No one can defeat them. After that hero's battle, his weapon was left behind here. It's known as the Stream Splitter. The bandits tell Alicia to move forward. Suddenly, more bandits appear from the other side. One deranged man jumps onto the bridge and approaches Alicia, describing what he plans to do to her until she screams all night. Alicia snaps. Against her will, she thanks Celevetus for his power. She dislocates her shoulder, crushes the man's skull with her shackles, cuts the rope with his own blade, and jumps down. The fall is fatal. Both Alicia and the bandit die from the impact. The remaining bandits panic. If their boss finds out, he'll kill them all. But Alicia isn't dead. Her body is shattered. She can't feel anything below her neck, and she's lost a massive amount of blood. Jumping meant certain death. Alicia knew that much. So instead, she climbed onto a makeshift wooden platform built above the water. The moment the bandits followed her up, she sliced through the supporting ropes. One by one, most of them plunged straight into the lake. While the monsters below were distracted by their feast, Alicia slipped into a barrel and let herself sink. She wasn't worried about running out of air. She couldn't truly die anyway. All she had to do was reach the bottom and find the sword. As the barrel sank deeper, the pressure crushed her body. The lack of oxygen sent burning pain through her veins. Her vision faded, her thoughts blurred, and darkness swallowed everything. But if this suffering led her to that blade, she was willing to endure it. The barrel finally slammed into something solid. Right in front of her, she saw it. The Reliquia. She moved toward it, knowing that the moment she claimed it, her power would multiply several times over. But just as she reached out, the ground beneath her moved. The monster opened its eyes. That's when Alicia realized the truth. She wasn't standing on the lake bed. She was standing on the body of a gigantic creature. Even then, she didn't hesitate. She grabbed the Reliquia. The monster suddenly opened its massive mouth and began pulling in water with terrifying force. Alicia was dragged straight inside. At the last second, she tightened her grip on the sword. The moment she activated it, everything changed. With a single, powerful swing, she shattered the monster's teeth and blasted her way back out. Her body was badly wounded. But this Reliquia was born from water itself. She trusted it to carry her safely back. As she rose toward the surface, one question haunted her. How had the previous hero lost? When he wielded a weapon this powerful, the answer became clear. That monster wasn't ordinary. It was an ancient beast creature spoken of only in legends, one that had survived for millions of years. Just before reaching the surface, smaller monsters attacked her. She cut through them relentlessly and burst into open air. The bandits froze in shock when they saw her alive. And in her hands was the Reliquia, but the nightmare wasn't over. The massive monster emerged from the water and began devouring the remaining bandits without mercy. Alicia barely managed to escape. She knew she couldn't defeat an ancient beast, but then she realized something else. She was still standing inside a bandit camp, and whatever happened to bandits meant nothing to her. She was about to leave when the survivors begged her to save them. She didn't even look back. How did you ever think I'd help people like you? Moments later, the monster consumed them all. Alicia assumed the creature would stay bound to the water. Hopefully it wouldn't follow her out. And technically speaking, Celevetus had only ordered her to eliminate the bandits. That mission was complete. After feeding, the monster disappeared back into the depths. That's when Kron spoke up. You struggled more than I expected. His words ignited her anger. If you knew all of this, she snapped, why didn't you help me? Kran explained that he was dealing with something even he didn't fully understand. At the same time, it was revealed that he had already killed Betty, without even touching her. He summoned Alicia, saying it was time for her lesson. Elsewhere, Bracco was completely terrified. Watching Kran kill someone so effortlessly had shattered him. While fleeing, he suddenly ran into Luna. Alicia soon reached Kran, only for him to tell her she was already too late. His gaze then fell on her new sword. She immediately begged him not to take it from her. After a pause, Kran agreed. He then explained the strange smoke. It had no effect on humans or normal animals, but dark beasts were highly sensitive to it. Even he could barely smell anything, and his ears had been ringing nonstop. He could destroy the entire cave by revealing his true form, but he refused to do so. Because Luna was still somewhere inside, Kran ordered Alicia to deal with the smoke. She told him she couldn't use magic. Only a handful of people in the world could, and even they required arcane stones. Cran dismissed her as useless once again. That pushed her over the edge. She shouted that some of the heroes he had killed were capable of using magic. But Cran had already moved on. He quietly admitted that Luna was probably already dead. Alicia asked him what he would do if that were true. If Luna is dead, then my interest in humanity ends, and I'll have no reason to let them live. In that moment, Alicia understood everything. There was only one way to protect humanity. Luna had to survive. As they moved deeper, they found blood trails. Nal was far too injured to crawl. Someone had dragged her away. Meanwhile, Brocco was trying to escape. Nal clung desperately to his coat, refusing to let go no matter how many times he kicked her. He didn't want to abandon the coat. It was expensive. But more importantly, he wanted Luna. A flashback revealed what happened earlier. When Brocco approached Luna, the baby suddenly began crying. That reaction caused a burst of hidden energy to erupt. Brocco immediately understood. Luna possessed immense magical potential. There was only one explanation. He was the Lost Prince. Brocco planned to exploit him. That's when Alicia appeared. Brocco panicked and demanded to know where his men were. Kron answered calmly, "They've all become monster food. What humans do in their lives doesn't matter." Kron continued, "In the end, they're all just prey." Desperate, Brocco threatened to cut off Luna's fingers if they moved any closer. Kran didn't care. Alicia stepped in. Even if Kron could heal Luna, the pain would still be real. She drew her sword and hurled it into the wall. Seeing the reliquia, Brocco froze. Alicia told him he couldn't pull it out with one hand. If he put the baby down, took the sword and left, she wouldn't stop him. But if Luna was harmed even slightly, she would kill him herself. Brocco burst into laughter. "If a hero is willing to give up her reliquia," he said, "then this child is worth far more." That confirmed it. Luna was pure blood Haiden royalty. Brocco demanded the locations of the remaining reliquia. After receiving a silent signal from Kron, Alicia told him. The moment he got the information, Brocco drank an invisibility potion and vanished with Luna. Unfortunately for him, he wouldn't stop talking. His voice gave away his position. Alicia struck instantly, slicing him in two. Luna's cries revealed the baby's location. As Cran removed the powder, Luna became visible again. Alicia then asked about Nal. Despite being near death, Nal had tried to protect Luna. "To save her," Cran said, "I'll need to use dark blood. While I heal her, you'll have to die again." Alicia agreed without hesitation. She had more than enough experience with dying. Kron extracted the dark blood from her and fully healed Nal. Her appearance changed completely. Asked if Kron had saved her. "No," he replied. "I only kept you alive. This girl saved you. She's far tougher than most humans." Alicia revived once more and immediately searched for her sword. Cran handed Luna to her and told her to follow. But the moment they stepped outside, Kiran took the reliquia from her. "When I need it," he said, "I'll give it back." At that moment, Nal appeared, fully prepared to leave. Alicia stared in disbelief at how much weight Nal could carry. She couldn't shake the feeling that Kiran had replaced parts of her body with something far stronger. Alicia realized she needed a proper weapon. Nal told her that under Brocco's desk, there were several swords stored away. The moment Alicia heard that, her mood instantly lifted. She turned to Cran and asked for permission to go retrieve one. Once he allowed it, she hurried inside. The room was better stocked than she expected. Armor pieces, piles of coins, and multiple swords were scattered around. While she was testing one of the blades, chaos broke out elsewhere. Someone suddenly attacked Cran. In the next instant, Cran came crashing into the room mid-air. After seeing Alicia struggle with the sword, he immediately understood something unsettling. This body was even weaker than he had estimated. Before he could say anything more, another presence arrived. Gark appeared. Without warning, Gark launched an attack straight at Alicia. She barely dodged in time, but his assault didn't stop. Invisible blades of wind slammed toward her again and again, forcing her into pure defense. She was barely keeping up. Then Gark suddenly pulled back and released a massive wind strike that blasted Alicia straight through the building. She was thrown outside and Gark followed her into the open. "You're strong," he said calmly, "but I'm only here for that boy. If you walk away now, I won't touch you." There was no way Alicia could accept that. She cleared her mind and prepared to strike back. But at the final moment, Kron intervened. Because she couldn't disobey his command, her body froze in place, even though her mind was still in combat mode. To snap her out of it, Kron punched her unconscious. When she came to, he explained the truth. If he hadn't stopped her, Gark's next attack would have torn her body apart. He also explained that Gark had attacked them because of a misunderstanding. Gark wasn't here for them. He was hunting Brocco. He had received information that a human was controlling trolls in this area, and Nal carried a scent extremely similar to a troll's. That made Gark assume Cran was the culprit. Everything finally made sense. Cran immediately sent Nal away to a safe distance. Then he revealed the truth. He wasn't human. He was a dark beast, using powerful illusion magic to maintain a human form. As far as Kron knew, only one dark beast in the world could perform illusions at this level. The Lord of the West, Zathir. However, Zathir and Celevetus did not get along. Kron had no interest in getting involved in her affairs. Gark demanded to know who Cran really was, and how he knew all of this. Cran answered honestly. He was a servant of Celevetus. Hearing that, Gark dropped his disguise and revealed his true form as well. He explained that just as Celevetus wished to wipe out humanity, Zathir had begun considering the same thing. Gark was Zathir's servant. To prove his claim, he demanded Cran reveal his own dark beast nature. Cran calmly exposed one of his tails. At that moment, Alicia's brain felt like it was about to explode. So there were dark beasts other than Celevetus who could disguise themselves as humans, speak their language, think like them? Then why were the heroes fighting only Celevetus? Noticing her confusion, Cran reassured her. Only a very small number of dark beasts can take human form or speak human language. Most of them see humans as too weak to even bother observing, and consider speaking their language humiliating. Gark then questioned Cran. If humans are your enemies, why are you working with a hero? Kron answered without hesitation. This human is under my control. Through her, I'm studying humanity. The other two humans serve the same purpose. Then he asked Gark something in return. Why would Zathir suddenly consider exterminating humans, when she usually only observes them and even answers the questions of orcs? Gark explained. A few days ago, several Dark Beast children were kidnapped. At the scene, a potion was found. Zathir sent Gark into the human world to investigate. If it turned out humans were stealing Dark Beast offspring, Zathir would personally annihilate the entire human race. After thinking it over, Kron connected the dots. The child kidnappings and these bandits were likely related. Kra had previously told him that talented children were often sold shortly after birth. Brocco had intended to do exactly that with Luna. Cran suspected that Dark Beast kidnappings and the human trafficking of gifted children were part of the same operation. And the talent everyone was hunting was magic. Alicia believed this was the work of wizards. In recent years, warfare had changed completely. Magic was no longer support, it had become the deciding weapon. Victory depended on which side had stronger wizards. The first to weaponize magic on this scale was General Drell, also known as the Dragon Slayer, the same man who had killed Alicia's father. Meanwhile, General Drell was advancing toward the hidden ruins of Haydn with 500 soldiers, aiming to capture it. Aslan's army stood in his way, but they had only 6,000 soldiers, almost no wizards, and reinforcements were still 3 days away. Still, their commander had a plan. Haydn's west gate was narrow, while the east gate was massive. If Drell entered from the west, they could force a direct clash. But for that, they needed help from Haydn's army. A letter had already been sent, but there was no reply. That silence confirmed the worst. Celevetus had attacked the Haydn royal family. If Drell was here, then Haydn's royal forces were likely already gone. If Drell seized the forge, their magical weapons would be lost forever. The forge was an ancient magical artifact, coveted by every magic researcher alive. Then new information arrived. Haydn's east gate had been opened by a wizard named May, one of Drell's strongest subordinates. May confirmed that Celevetus had indeed attacked and that the entire royal family had been killed. All except one, a 6-month-old royal prince, missing. Bandits had been spotted carrying a baby matching the crown prince's description. Drell gave the order, "Use everything. Bring that child to me."